Welcome back, Focus Learners. Man, if it feels like the search landscape has just been completely turned upside down lately, trust me, you are definitely not alone. I mean, over the last few weeks, it genuinely feels like Google turned up the heat on literally every single front at once. We're talking major algorithmic shockwaves, completely brand new metrics, sweeping AI changes, and just massive shifts in how content actually gets cited. So think of this explainer as your strategic battle plan. We're going to decode exactly what just happened out there, how to measure the real impact on your site, and precisely what you need to do to survive and thrive in this kind of chaotic new reality. Okay, let's dive into this. We'll start by untangling the recent core update chaos, then look at tracking your AI traffic and explore exactly why Listicles are absolutely dominating AI right now. After that, we'll diagnose those terrifying organic traffic drops and wrap up by building out your Google search profiles. All right, Section 1, the core update chaos. So let's just address the elephant in the room right off the bat, the prolonged May 2026 core update. Look, if you manage a website, I want to completely validate your anxiety right now, because this update was brutal. It was announced on May 21st, and, everyone kind of expected it to wrap up within that neat, standard 2-week window. And sure enough, we saw some initial volatility over that first weekend, which is par for the course, right? But then, and this completely caught the industry off guard, an unusually massive ranking spike hit on June 2nd, a Tuesday. That is highly unusual behavior for a core update, which usually tapers off by that point. It wasn't until June 5th that this agonizing rollout officially finished, leaving a lot of SEOs and marketers totally scrambling to figure out what just hit them. Now, Google officially described this event as, quote, a regular update designed to better surface relevant, satisfying content from all types of sites, end quote. Just contrast that perfectly calm, standard corporate language with the brutal reality we all actually lived through. We experienced repeated, heavy ranking volatility across 3 entirely separate weekends. The stark difference between that super calm official statement and the actual on-the-ground shockwaves tells us for sure that this update had significantly more moving parts under the hood than your average algorithm tweak. Moving on to Section 2, tracking your AI traffic. Okay, so the landscape has clearly shifted, right? And we desperately need a way to measure our performance in this wild new AI-driven search world. Well, on June 3rd, Google finally dropped generative AI performance reports into Search Console. For the very first time, you can actually see how often your pages are appearing inside AI overviews in AI mode. What you get is a breakdown of impressions, by page, country, device, date. But, and this is the massive catch here, folks, there is absolutely no click data. None. You can see your visibility inside these AI search features, but you have literally no idea how much actual traffic they're sending to your site. Google says more metrics are coming over time, but for right now, this measurement gap is really only half closed. Now, alongside this new reporting, Google's also testing out a toggle that lets you opt your site out of AI overviews entirely. The absolutely crucial takeaway here: do not use it. Seriously, I cannot stress this enough. If you opt out, you are voluntarily giving up the exact visibility you can finally start measuring. Plus, Google has explicitly stated that opting out doesn't act as some kind of positive ranking signal anywhere else. So just leave it on, stay visible, and start gathering that impression data. Let's shift gears to Section 3, why Listicles dominate AI. So how do we actually get our content cited by these massive AI models in the first place? Well, Evertune Research conducted this massive analysis of 25,000 unique URLs across all the major AI models. We're talking ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, and Google's AI overviews. And out of nearly 400 million data points analyzed, now what's really interesting about this data is that an overwhelming 63% of AI content citations point to listicle format pages, nearly 2/3. And honestly, it's not just any list. These models heavily favor ranked, specific top 10 or best X lists over just, unranked bullet points. Basically, if you're targeting commercial intent queries, formatting your content as a ranked list gives you a massive advantage. And the data gets even more specific when it comes to structure. 44%, just remember that number, 44% of all AI citations pull directly from the first 30% of a page. Let that sink in for a second. What you put right at the very top of your article matters exponentially more than the brilliant insights you might be burying somewhere in the middle or at the end. You absolutely have to top-load your value. Which brings us to a major myth-busting moment.
The median cited page in this massive study, it's around 941 words, not 3,000. For years, marketers thought inflating word counts was the magic key to authority. Well, actually, scratch that. It's not. Length alone does not drive AI citation. Clear, concise, well-structured, ranked information is exactly what these AI algorithms are looking to parse and cite. We really need to stop writing whole novels when the user and the AI just wants the answer.
That brings us to Section 4, Diagnosing Organic Traffic Drops. So if the recent updates have already hit you hard, let's shift our focus over to triage. Seer Interactive recently published a revised 2026 guide outlining 19 specific ways to figure out exactly why a site's organic traffic just tanked. And there's one incredibly vital question you've got to ask yourself right now. Did your traffic actually drop because you lost rankings, or did AI simply absorb your clicks? Because this is the new reality. Your ranking position for a given keyword might hold perfectly steady at number 1 or number 2, but an AI-generated response sitting at the very top of the page might just be answering the user's question immediately, entirely stealing that click-through traffic. So, how do you actually diagnose this? Let's run through a rapid-fire troubleshooting checklist. When traffic drops, first check seasonality by looking at year-over-year data. Then check for increased competition by analyzing your click-through rate curves. Keep an eye out for keyword shifts, technical errors like crawlability issues, and any brand reputation dips. But crucially, you absolutely must investigate if AI overviews are absorbing your clicks. To figure this out, you need to closely examine your impression-to-click ratio in Google Search Console, not just your average position. If you're seeing high impressions but suddenly dropping clicks, yeah, AI is very likely answering the query for you.
All right, final section, Section 5, Building Google Search Profiles.
So far, we've talked a lot about surviving the algorithm and optimizing for AI models, but to truly thrive, we need to build visibility on our own terms. Google's June 4th launch of search profiles is super interesting here, and this brilliantly illustrates how creators can actually take back some control. Step 1, currently you need a sizable social following on a major platform to even claim a profile. Step 2, you customize this dedicated search space with your avatar, your bio, and your vital links. Step 3 is where it gets highly engaging. You can actually pin a carousel featuring short-form videos from places like TikTok or YouTube directly into your search panel. And finally, Step 4, use this profile to drive recurring visibility directly in Discover. Now, why does this 4-step process matter so much? Simply because users who follow you directly from your search profile are significantly more likely to see your content pop up in their Google Discover feed. For content-driven brands and media publishers out there, look, if your audience is on Discover, this new tool is the concrete starting point to actually owning your identity on search, rather than just crossing your fingers and endlessly hoping to rank in it. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final provocative thought. AI is changing the search landscape forever. The way users find information and the way search engines deliver it is literally never going to be the same. So ask yourself, looking honestly at your current strategy, are you still just optimizing for that traditional blue link click? Or are you actively optimizing for the AI citation? The answer to that question is absolutely going to dictate whether you just survive or whether you truly thrive for the rest of 2026. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.